Welcome back to Shattered but Unbreakable. I'm your host, Vicki Lou-Ann. And let me just tell you something right off. So I am 2 episodes behind. And I realized that this morning. I'm like, wait a minute, why does that say only 22 episodes? And then I realized that when I loaded and scheduled, I didn't actually hit schedule. I hit cancel. So I'm catching up. Please forgive me and thank you for those who wrote to me and said, hey, what's going on? So I just wanted to get that out of the way before I started and let you know that, even the best of us are make mistakes, and I'm not always very techy. So. But today I'm doing this. I've had a hard week. Um, Yesterday was very emotional for me. Everything comes in threes, right? Or that's what they say. And I've had my share of things coming in threes this month. But I wanted to come here today and not with the mask and not the motivational sparkle necessarily, not the everything's fine voice. I've honestly been a wreck, and I think that's okay. It's okay to be real and not be strong all the time. We are human after all. So sometimes it feels like the hits just don't stop coming. And admittedly, I'm still shocked by it every single time. You'd think by now I'd see the storms forming before they hit. But trauma can make you believe that peace means danger. So when life goes quiet, part of you still flinches, waiting for the next blow. Maybe that's you too. Maybe you've been holding it together so long, your bones are tired and your heart's heavy and you're functioning, but you're not living. You wake up, you go through the motions, and somewhere between the bills, the lawyers, the loneliness, and the you should be over this by now, you've lost the will to pretend. And that's where I've been the last little bit. And that's what today's episode is about. Starting over when you're tired of starting over.
She is a warrior, ain't nothing gonna slow her down. She is a warrior.
That was Warrior by my friend Alita Langford, my sideline sister in gut health. I'm honored and grateful to share this song with you with her blessing and permission, because these lyrics, they aren't just music, they're medicine. They speak to the women who've been knocked down, counted out, and still find a way to rise again. For every woman who's ever been told she's too much, too emotional, too broken, for every soul who's stared into the ashes and thought, this is it, I'm done. But she wasn't. She stood up anyway, bruised, battered, shaking. She rose one trembling breath at a time. Because warriors aren't born in comfort, my friends. They're forged in the fire. Nobody talks about this part. The part after you survive. After the court dates. After the signatures. After the night spent staring at the ceiling, wondering how in the hell it all went so wrong. There's this moment when everything and everyone claps for your freedom, but you feel so hollow inside. Because freedom isn't fireworks. It's silence. It's rebuilding from the dust with no map, no guide, no partner, and no applause. It's realizing the world doesn't hand you a medal for surviving abuse or betrayal. It hands you a pile of bills, a mortgage, and a mirror. And that mirror, brutal. Because now it's just you. the woman who stayed too long, who tried too hard, who believed too much, loved too deeply, and lost almost everything trying to save what couldn't be saved. That's the exhaustion of starting over as a woman of a certain age. You whisper, God, I don't want to do this again. And society loves to put women of a certain age in a box, right? We get called cougars, desperate, washed up, or, oh, you're so brave for trying again. Honey, we are not an endangered species. We are an evolution. There's nothing more dangerous than a woman who's lost everything and decided to live anyway. You're not too late. You're just unleashed. When this first happened to me, I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to be the only 60-year-old woman getting a divorce and who is so broken she can't function. And you know what? That's not true. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of us. And I've talked to a lot of you, and oh my gosh, it's so healing to know you all. So I'm grateful. But you've carried the weight of expectation, motherhood, marriage, martyrdom. You built empires out of thin air and cried behind closed doors. Now you get to start again. But this time it's on your terms. You've created boundaries. You know what you will and will not tolerate. You will not accept less than what you deserve. Peace over people-pleasing. Joy over justification. Rest over proving your worth. Starting over isn't weakness. It's a fucking rebellion. And no one warns you about the social fallout, though, do they? The couple friends slowly vanish. Suddenly, you're the odd number at the table. And then there's that other whisper, watch her around your husband. Because apparently, being single all of a sudden makes us dangerous. As if the moment the ring comes off, we're prowling around suburbia in heels and heat, hunting husbands like it's a sport. It's like we have a different scent, a prowess, a hunger that can't be tamed. Where does this thinking even come from, I wonder? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to learn about it because I don't understand how come we didn't have this when we were married. I don't feel any different or treat my people any differently now than I did then. So please explain it to me. Feel free to educate me in the comments. I'm always open to learning new things. Because for me, and I know many others because I've spoken to you about this, but let me be crystal clear. The last thing we want are your damn husbands. We've listened to you as our friends complain about them for sometimes years. The sighs, the sarcasms, the, oh my gosh, can you believe he did this? The, if I have to pick up his socks one more time, gosh, sometimes I'd love to put a pillow over his face just so the snoring will stop. Why does he insist on putting the empty box back on the shelf? Why does he just sit there watching reels, refusing to move? Do you honestly think that we're lining up for that? No, ma'am. We're still detoxing from our own disasters. It's been almost 18 months for me. It's been 18 months since I've even kissed anyone. Shocking, right? I know it sure shocks the hell out of me because kissing is one of my very favorite things. Everyone calls it stuck. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's your nervous system whispering, please let me rest. What if your stillness is sacred? Why do you have to rush back out there? Why do we have to be a couple to matter? Why do people think that they can just put that on us? Like, oh my gosh, you have to get back out there. You got to get back on the horse. You got to jump in. Let me put you on some dating apps. No, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the way my friends are worried and they want me to be happy, and they think that, because they're happy, that the only way to do that is to be a couple. I'm not saying that my ex was irreplaceable. I'm saying that I sure was. I was replaced long before I was single. But that doesn't mean I need to replace him to survive. What it means is I'm finally learning who the hell I am, what I want in my life, what kind of people belong in my circle. Does it hurt that my couple friends don't include me anymore? Yeah, sometimes. But my peace doesn't require their approval. And if they don't want me at their couples table, well, maybe they're not really my friends to begin with. You're not lazy, my friends. You're healing. You're not behind. You're rebuilding. Maybe you don't need another project. Maybe you need laughter or silence or a long drive with the windows down and the music blaring like it's the 70s. Because being seen heals more than being fixed ever will. You are allowed to rebuild slow. You're allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to grieve what was while believing in what's next. You're not behind. You're becoming. And no one gets to rush that. So if you're standing in your kitchen tonight, wondering who you are right now that the we is gone, remember, loves, you're not broken. You're being reborn. You're not too late. You're not too old. And you are certainly not done. You're beginning again. What a gift. With a fire that doesn't need anyone's damn permission. If this episode hit you where you live, share it with another woman who needs to remember she's not broken either. She's being reborn. Because we don't shrink as we age, we sharpen. And when women like us rise, the world trembles. So breathe, rest, rise when you're ready. You're not starting over. You're starting real. We're not threats. We're survivors learning peace. So don't confuse healing with hunting. I'm Coach Vicki Lou-Ann, and this has been Shattered but Unbreakable. Have a beautiful week, my Phoenix sisters. I'm going to play the full version of Warrior by Alita Langford to close us out. Listen to the lyrics. Let them ignite the part of you that's still fighting to rise. And if you're ready to rise, breathe, and rebuild in real time, come visit me at sparksuccesscoaching.com. And I'm going to invite you to go to the retreat page also, because we have an awesome Radiance Rising Retreat Yacht Treat coming up. It's more than a trip. It's your next chapter waiting on the water. I'll put it in the notes at the bottom of the page. Until next time, keep rising. I'm Vicki Lou-Ann. Be blessed.
She's a warrior, ain't nothing gonna slow her down. She is a warrior, yeah. Gotta get up and go, no matter the road. Gotta keep your head held high. Gotta keep on praying, keep on slaying. Gotta keep that pretty smile. But she's ready to battle, gonna take that enemy down. She fears no evil and holding her ground. She is a warrior, ain't nothing gonna slow her down. She is a warrior, she's taking this battleground. She is a fighter, a crier, she ain't gonna lose this round. She is a warrior, yeah. She sees a way and it ain't paved, rubies of gold. She's gonna train her mind, gotta keep her in line, keep her eyes on the Lord. She's ready to battle, gonna take that enemy down. She fears no evil and holding her ground. She is a warrior, ain't nothing gonna slow her down. She is a warrior, she's taking this battleground. She is a fighter, a crier, she ain't gonna lose this round. She is a warrior,
You are stronger than you think, braver than you feel, and more capable than you ever imagined. So embrace the struggle and know that with each step, you are becoming the person God created you to be, a warrior.
His love